Doing well? I have a question for you today.
Yeah.
Do you believe that teenagers should have the right to choose whether or not they want to have a relation with their absent parent?
Um, yeah,
And why is that?
because it's their parent, and they should have a choice.
Do you believe the parent should enforce the child to go meet their parent?
Do I think their parent should enforce it?
Yes.
No,
And why is that?
because if the kid doesn't feel comfortable with it, they shouldn't have to do it.
Alright, thank you for your time. Hello, sir, how are you doing today?
Good.
I have a question for you. Do you believe that teenagers should have the right to choose whether or not they want to have a relation with their absent parent?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Based on the case, whether or not that person had to leave due to work or something like that, or if they just chose to leave to be away from the family, I think either way it should come down to the kid because that's whose life it impacts at that point. Whether or not they want to change, maybe mess things up and make it more complicated.
Alright, do you think that a parent should force their child to meet them? Or do you think the child should just come upon it itself?
I think the parents should be able to encourage it because it might be a good situation, but at the end of the day, it should come down to them, the kids, deciding.
Alright, thank you, sir. That's all I need.
I would hope that as long as the child is still under 18, that they would respect the parent that is taking care of them if there's maybe circumstances that it wouldn't be safe for them to be with that absent parent,
Right.
that they would respect the wishes of the parent that's been taking care of them to wait until they're a little older where from a responsibility level, they'll be able to understand a little better if they get into situations with that other parent that might not be safe for them, that they would be a little older and be able to recognize that it might not be a good situation. If it's a situation where maybe that's not the case, it's not because of the child's safety, I still think it would be smart for that child to make sure that it's going to be okay with the parent that they are living with because you don't want to cause problems.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Good.
I have a question for you. Do you believe that teenagers should have the right to choose whether or not they want to meet their absent parent?
Yes, I think.
And why is that?
I think the child in their own time will come to a conclusion where they feel they're ready to meet their absent parent, and they should be given that opportunity.
Why don't you think the parent should delegate this?
The parents may push the child a little too early, and they may not be ready to meet the other parent.
Alright, thinking that's all I really need to know for today. Teenagers should have the right to choose whether or not they want to have a relation with the absent parent.
Sure they do.
And why is that?
Yeah, sometimes there's in a young man's life or a young girl's life this void, and they don't know why it's there. Maybe this absentee parent can fill that void, answer questions. Unfortunately, living with one parent, they only get one side of the story as to what happened. This absentee parent might be able to fill them in as to his side of the story. They doesn't know exactly what happened to the relationship between the mother and the father and the mother. And the child should be able to choose on whether or not he or she is able to have a relationship with the absentee parent, and should not be restricted by the other parent or anybody else.
Alright, thank you, sir, and that's all I needed for today.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
So do you think they should just go along with the
I
parent?
mean, I'm old school, so I would say they should obey their parent. But, now, I mean, if the parent is, for instance, an abusive type person, then, you know, it all depends. I mean, I'd pretty much leave it in the court's hands.
Alright. What if that parent was never around and then they randomly try to get in contact with you? Do you still think that's the teenager's choice?
Why aren't they around? Because they're working to provide for the teenager?
They just left.
They just left?
Well, what if that?
Well, then I don't think so, no. I mean, then I completely agree that teenagers should be able to decide. I mean, it would be like a random stranger coming up to them.
Alright. Thank you, sir, and that's all I needed for today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's